Hello. Um, I am Craig. I will be your what we call in Shadowlight and Persona the chorus, in keeping with my propensity for theatrical terminology. The GM, uh, basically wearing a variety of hats, but offering you this experience this evening and for the next couple of weeks playing Shadowlight and Persona. Uh, Shadowlight and Persona is a TTRPG where you play curious people captivated by mysterious phenomena or circumstances and question fact from what's preconceived, unearth the established, the accepted, and the expected, reveal what's hidden, separate truth from lies and myth, and like other TTRPGs that have campaign sets or campaign frames or play sets, so does Shadowlight and Persona, and I call them affectionately tricks of Shadowlight. So they are providing us with kind of um, a more established uh, set of tools. Kind of, we've already discussed our setting, our vibes, our tone, our premise. We've gone over some safety tools to help make sure everybody feels comfortable. Um, why don't we? Well, I guess what I should do first is to talk about what that trick of Shadowlight is, which is it's called a covenant to mend a galaxy in tatters. It is my uh, question to space opera, which is what happens when the big, nasty, evil space Nazi empire and the scrappy uh, resistance alliance, whatever you would like to call it, when they go toe to toe, head to head, and nothing is left after. So there is a war, and it basically completely destabilizes anything resembling a galactic government. So to give you the opening crawl, so to speak, the galaxy is in tatters. The tyrannical authority has been defeated by the conviction of the scrappy, under resourced coalition. But the cost was high on both sides, and everyone's been left to fend for themselves. Individual star systems, regions, territories must figure out how to survive, making agreements, forging alliances on their own, hoping that a larger covenant might form. Who's Murray? Pause.
Dramatic effect. I know Merm had said something about not wanting their character's identity to be known. This is a really great way to
That's a good
act that out. I'm
idea.
really.
Okay,
Aha!
we took a dramatic pause. Hoping that a larger covenant might form provides stability where everything is uncertain and chaotic. The players are soldiers from the galaxy spanning conflict. From which side, it doesn't really matter anymore. Each of them are skilled in their own way and must survive as soldiers of fortune until maybe one day they can put down their weapons and build rather than destroy. In the meantime, they're going to be always on the move, keeping each other alive and thriving, doing jobs for whoever will pay them, feed them, keep their ship flying, all along the way, the universe testing, keeping them on their toes, and surprising them. So we have our kind of agreed upon game. We have our agreed upon, like I said, tone, themes, environment, vibes. So why don't we go around the table and let everyone introduce themselves and their characters? Starting with uh, Dev.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hi. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
don't blame me. I rolled the dice.
Dev. Yes. This shirt should tell you everything you need to know about me. Yeah, death is coming for you. I might hit you. I might not. Most likely I will. But that's it. I like shooting guns. I like hitting people that try to hurt people that I care for, and getting good money or food or something out of it.
Okay. Maze.
Everybody, my name is Worm. I'll be playing Maze, and I'm here just trying to make friends, just trying to build relationships with people, get to know folks. Honestly, my past times, I really like to figure out how people, what makes them tick, and push those buttons a little bit. It's really fun.
And anything you want to share with us about Maze?
It was Maze.
Oh, that was Maze. Okay.
It was Maze.
I wasn't sure if that was a you intro or if that was a Maze intro. Okay.
Okay, I understand I was late, and I'm so sorry.
Wasn't expecting Craig to be the one throwing shade, but okay.
I don't know what you thought. All right, Dorcas.
Oh gosh. Okay. Hi, I'm Irvi. I'm gonna be playing Dorcas. Schumer uses any and all pronouns. I use they, them pronouns. Anyway, Dorcas is the child of a war veteran too young to actually have done anything during the galactic crash. But now is extremely motivated to go out and do whatever good they can possibly do out there. He's not really sure what that's going to necessarily entail for them or anyone else, but we're gonna make sure that people get where they need to go. They get away from where they need to go, and we do it in a efficient manner. I'm not going to necessarily say safe, because sometimes you gotta duct tape things together, little bang bang on the side of the jukebox, and hope for the best.
What's the line about getting your car fixed? You can have it done fast, you can have it done cheap, or you can have it done well. You get two of the three.
Yeah, Dorcas is fast and well.
All right. So I thought that it would be both entertaining and helpful to throw us in media res right into the middle of something terrible happening. So, first of all, since you are the driver, Dorcas, what's the name of your ship?
We are in I call it the Galactic Speed Racer. But it was actually my grandfather's ship, so it's named after him. It's the GSS Jameson, Galactic Standard Ship.
I like it. So, because without much in the way of a galactic standard left anymore, it's hard to know time. There is no standard timekeeping anymore, but how old would you say, Dorcas is the child of a veteran. How old would you say that Dorcas is?
Well, probably, as the moons fly, early 20s.
Okay, cool. And what about Dev and Maze?
Probably mid-30s, maybe older, maybe, who knows? 80, who knows?
Looking really good for or is 80 the new 30? Is that what we're saying?
Yep.
Maze definitely gives off like early 20s vibes.
Cool.
Darn kids. Get off my lawn. Oh wait, we don't have lawns. We have a ship.
I can stand in front of your door.
Get off my ship.
Sorry, Dorcas. Sorry.
We'll have to have that story about how you found this ship, how you kept the ship, what terrible and/or embarrassing things have happened while you've kept this ship.
Oh, it's duct taped together.
Right. Now what has happened is that y'all have answered a distress call. You have heard from the uh, the asylum barge calling itself the Jeremiah. It seems to be when you guys first come out of what's called Q-axis mode. You have your faster than light travel, which you ride the Q-axis, and you come back into real space. What you see is what effectively looks like a bulk freighter. So I mean, this thing is several hundred kilometers long. Several hundred kilometers, yeah, several hundred kilometers long. Um, maybe a couple. Um, and it looks like basically a giant uh, cargo ship. Um, and it sent out a distress call, audio only, and it says we are under attack by pirates. And so when you emerge into real space, what you see is that there is a what looks like a marauder type uh, cruiser that has pulled up right alongside this bulk freighter and has rather violently extended docking tubes punched holes right into the side of its hull, and it's right in process. It looks like this pirate ship is boarding or in the middle of boarding this bulk freighter.
I I have an enhancement that I would like to see if I'm manning the guns of the vessel, I can use it.
So tell me what the enhancement is, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at surprise attack right now, and the pirate ship is just worried about the Jeremiah. So, can I make an argument that the guns aboard the ship, in terms of like spaceships, that it's a simple weapon?
I see what you mean. So
It's a clunker. It's an old ship. I inherited it from my grandfather.
what I will say is, I will give you if your pilot would like to try and fly casually, that you can maneuver yourself into a position to be able to make your surprise attack.
Can you define casually?
Maybe not so that you're not caught by the pirate cruiser.
Yes,
sensors.
a good stealthily strategic movement. Dorcas doesn't know what the word casual actually means. Not in the vocabulary.
Gotcha.
Sneak in a blind spot.
Yeah, we can definitely do some maneuvering, some stealthy maneuvering for sure. Yes.
So here's what if Dorcas can succeed on a challenge to make the piloting maneuver, then Maze can benefit from the surprise attack.
Hurt. So you would say I was like operating the ship. Okay. That's gonna be 3 of these dice.
Yes. And so for everyone at home, the core mechanic for Shadow Light and Persona is that's a good. Is that a good face?
That's a good face.
Is it good?
That was a good face.
The core mechanic is multiple D10s. Your skill dictates to you how many dice you roll. You always roll D10s, and then you add an appropriate attribute, and you look at the dice in order from highest to lowest, and rolls are opposed. So in this case, Dorcas is rolling against the sensors of the pirate ship, the Marauder, to see whether or not she can maneuver into position to give Maze a surprise attack with the guns. So, well, this is not my happy face. Sorry, you're probably in for a success. So tell me what you got.
So do you want the number with my modifier already, or
Yeah, the total. So you look at your highest die and add the modifier and just tell me your total.
a 13?
Okay. Did you roll a 10?
Yes.
Did you roll more than 1 10?
No.
Okay. All right. I mean, if you do, let me know, because
Okay.
more than 110 beyond the first means a critical possibility.
A 1.
So in this case, I rolled, my highest was a 6, so you most definitely succeeded. So the first thing that you will need to do is you will need mark you succeeded, because there may be opportunity for advancement, and so keep track of both successes and failures.
Where do I mark successes?
There is a space for it on the character sheet in the upper right.
I found it.
Got it. Awesome. So that pirate marauder cruiser is definitely completely has its attention on this asylum barge, and it seems like Dorcas found the blind spot and just kind of slipped right in. And you have Maze, you have an opening on its belly, and you can go ahead and fire away.
And that's exactly what I do.
All right. So wait, I'm sorry. You know what? Wait, hold on. I gave you the opportunity to use your surprise attack, and your surprise attack says that as long as so Dorcas maneuvered you into position, your attack is an automatic success.
Yes.
So you won't be able to mark a success because you didn't roll, but
Okay.
you get to still pull off what you want to do, which is to you. Not only did you draw a bead on the pirate marauder cruiser's belly, but you blam blam open up with those cannons and make contact. So I am going to record a hit for you against the pirate marauder. All right. What's Dev doing?
I'm assuming we have more than one gun turret thing.
Sure.
So
That sounds
yeah,
all right.
heck.
You might even have a missile launcher too.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
So to give you an idea of your ship sheet, so to speak.
Say that fast.
Example crafts. So what you have is you have 3 missiles. And if you decide to use the missile launcher, if you succeed, if the Marauder does not, if it does have shields, then the missiles will ignore its shields. So it's up to you whether or not you want to fire from the laser cannon, the laser turret, or if you want to fire missiles.
I want to fire a missile.
Okay.
Because they have to have their shields down if they're boarding, because they're sticking things out. So it's got.
That's very, very accurate. That is a accurate description of the situation.
Yes.
So
I'm not space savvy on things. Yeah.
But you know how to shoot things. So what you can do is roll strike.
All right.
You should have strike as a skill.
I do.
Sorry, not strike. Shoot.
I shoot. Where are you? Shoot.
In the bottom left-hand corner is your skills, and
shoot. I got shoot.
I know that you should definitely have snipe, but snipe won't be appropriate in this instance. So shoot or blast. Oh no, that's what it is. Blast. I'm sorry.
So
I came up with these spell names and lists of abilities and things on. I remember them all the time. So yes. So why don't you go ahead and you're going to roll what the rating, which that's that many d10s, and you're going to add the modifier, which is the attribute, to the highest die.
3. So it's 3, and then with my cunning, which is also 3.
Okay, awesome.
Because I'm just that good. Oh, crap. All right, one fell on the floor. We'll try again. All right. Oh, God, don't pick dark dice in a dark place. 7, 5, 9, 5. And what's considered a success? I am sorry, I have no brain.
Just tell me your total.
I have 12. Wait, that will be 22, 24.
No, sorry, just the total, not the total of all the dice. Just you take the highest one and add the modifier to that one.
Okay.
So, for example,
Highest is a 9, so that would be 12.
Okay, awesome. So you beat me. My highest was only a 10. So you succeed, and you're going to mark a success, and you're going to mark a hit, regardless of whether or not they had shields. You enable the targeting system on the missile launcher, and it makes a kaboom. Not necessarily an earth-shattering kaboom, but a kaboom nevertheless. So now that you guys have gotten a sense of what the situation is there some sort of an idea of what your goal is in this situation, in this scenario? You are looking at this bulk cruiser. They call themselves the Asylum Barge Jeremiah. That would mean to you more than likely that they are refugees, that they are in the process of fleeing somewhere. So
No, seriously, thank you for that clarity, because I thought we were doing like an asylum, like a floating mental.
I'm sorry.
I was ready for either one, but this definitely changes the mindset of what we're going into.
So yeah, when they announce themselves as an asylum barge, this would be kind of common terminology for a refugee ship.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
And y'all have communicators inside the ship, so you can freely talk to each other about what your plans are. So you've given the Marauder a black eye. A ship this size might have fighters. They're not doing anything to actively jam sensors or anything like that. So they do have one small craft bay, but they have not launched anything from it yet.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep blasting them, or what?
Yeah.
Was the last communication that we got from the inside of the Jeremiah?
So the Jeremiah, this is the Asylum Barge Jeremiah. We are under attack by pirates. They have disabled our engines. They are in the process of boarding us. To anyone who is receiving this, we need help as soon as possible.
So we need to stop them from boarding any further.
Any further than they already have, yes.
Yeah.
And then get on the asylum and help clear that out.
A plan. I wanted board.
That was an awful lot of enthusiasm there from Maze.
Yeah. I want board.
All right, so I mean, it's they have not responded yet.
That's weird.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? They're not shooting back.
Well,
Maybe
they
there
might
are-
not know where to shoot back from because we are in a really good spot.
Or they could all already be on board.
Yeah, on board, yeah.
Mhm.
When you were describing the small spacecraft docking bay, was that
Yeah.
the asylum barge or the
No, that's the pirate marauder.
bet? Okay, that's what I was hoping you were
Yeah.
about to say.
Yeah. It's definitely smaller than the Jeremiah. The Marauder is definitely smaller than the Jeremiah, but it is big enough to have one docking bay.
What would we know about just in general, like boarding and stuff? How like the
So what it seems like this Marauder has done is now whether or not the Jeremiah had shields to begin with, you don't know. Um, well, actually, I mean, you don't know it visually. If you were to do, they are not emitting shields right now. So
Okay.
either the shields were disabled or they didn't have shields to begin with. Their engines are disabled. That definitely happened. You can see that there was damage to their engine, uh, their their engine nacelles, their drive assembly. But so what the Marauder has done is taken two docking tubes and basically forcibly punched holes into the side of the Jeremiah's hull.
Okay.
So chances are what they will do is their plan is more than likely to um, kill anybody that's inside, steal what they might have that's worth anything, and then pull those tubes back and then get the heck out of Dodge.
So yeah, we're not gonna be. We can't like disconnecting tubes could lead to the potential of draft.
Open space, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Suckage.
Draft was the nice word.
Vacuum.
Yes.
Yes.
Spacing. Cool. Yeah. Then in that case, I think best bets are going to be entering via the space pirate ship, disabling whatever and whomever needs to be disabled inside,
Okay.
and then going through the tubes. Personally. Roger.
What's your vector, Victor? All right. If that's what you're going to do, so you're going to move yourself closer. You're going to, and we already established that the Marauder has its shields down. So that the only thing that is stopping you from getting into that docking bay is the fact that it has blast doors that are closed. So you can either blow them open, or you can maybe try to hack them open.
Yeah. Some sort
I
of.
I think Maze might have a slice skill that might be.
Yeah, I can try that first.
Okay.
If y'all would like me to.
Yeah, I think a stealthier approach. Any sort of advantage we can get from not being noticed.
I feel like we have had 2 shots against them. There's
I
no.
haven't noticed.
I don't know.
I haven't
if there's
noticed.
anything, but yeah, I'll.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, you've definitely inflicted damage on the ship.
Has there been a response?
There's not been a response yet.
Weird. I think
So I
that's
haven't
weird.
noticed.
Yeah. Okay. What do I add to slice?
It should say it at the very right hand side of the column. So it should have the skill name, and then if you follow it over, the rating, and then to the right of the rating is the attribute that you add.
Okay. Prowess. Okay. So I do 2 dice. Wow, I'm rolling like garbage. Okay. That's a 7.
Okay. Well, there must be some type of computer software that is providing their defenses for their. So you're able to kind of you use your communications array to make kind of an initial connection. But as soon as you make that initial connection, there is some sort of automated defense system that's in place that is completely blocking you. It's providing defenses to their computer network that's preventing you from taking over control of those doors. Now, let me check something for you real quick, because I want to say that maybe you have the opportunity to. I have to look at your. Come on. All right. Where are we? Okay. No, I don't think so. All right. These guys definitely don't mess around. It looks like they have some sort of countermeasures, electronics in place to prevent you from hacking the doors and opening them up. So if your intent is to enter through their docking bay, then the alternative is to blast your way through. Would you like to try again with another missile, Dev?
I get to blow things? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. What am I shooting at? Just show me. Point the way.
I will come over and like physically point at like the doors that I just failed at. It's okay.
Right. Okay. And keep my eye on them. And, ooh, yeah. I rolled a 10. So I got it 110 and the 3. So that makes a 13.
All right. Again, mark successes and mark failures. So Merm, you're going to mark a failure for your slice. And Dev, you're going to mark a success for another missile. Between the two missile blasts, you're able to force open to get into this docking bay, but it's not going to be pretty. It's not like a neat airlock where you line up and you. So you can get on board, but how are you going to get on board given this situation?
Do we have suits on the ship?
I think it's reasonable that you would, yeah. You may have to apply duct tape to the exterior of the ship sometimes.
Perfect. And then there's at least a pair of functional grav boots then at that point. You might have to mix match sizes every once in a while, but click the batteries together. So
turn them around, blow on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of blowing on like the heels of things. Yeah.
So is that that's what you're thinking is that you're going to get into EV suits and board through this crevice that you just made?
Well, when you say it like that, it makes me feel very hesitant about it.
I'm very excited and enthusiastic about it.
I'm very suspicious about this whole situation, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's.
We get to fly. Come on.
No, Dorcas ain't casually going in. We're like, let's go. Irby is very suspicious about this entire situation. But Dorcas wants to go and put her little EV suit on, and he's gonna trudge through with these grav boots, and it's gonna be a great time.
And you've got a thruster pack, so you can kind of sort of control your approach. You might bump around a little bit, you might smack into the hull, but ultimately, once you all put on your EV suits, you can pull that off, and you can be inside their docking bay. Inside their docking bay, it looks like they've got 4 small snub fighters that are sitting in the docking bay, um, as if they were defending themselves, they would launch those snub fighters. Um, but if they are in the middle of boarding, um, chances are they have completely abandoned their ship in favor of just swarming onto the asylum barge. So you won't be able to. So there's an airlock inside the docking bay that will get you into the rest of the ship. So you'll have to keep your EV suit on as far your helmet. You'll need your artificial oxygen. Once you're inside the airlock, you can take that off, but you're still in vacuum while you're standing in the docking bay.
I do like a sweep of these like leftovers to see if there's anything that not only would help the ship, maybe replace some duct tape with some like good shit.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, they're four like one-man fighter craft that are in pretty decent shape. They're
Okay.
certainly not. They're not they're not top of the line, and they're not right off the assembly line. But they've definitely seen action. But they're sturdy.
I like where your head's at, Maze. I think we should put a pin in that part of the plan, and we get rid of the space pirates, and then we pirate this ship.
Or we can quickly see what we can come back to. I'm not gonna take anything. And then we'll come back and know exactly what we need.
Well, or we just take the whole ship.
We could do that
We're
too.
done.
But can I just look in one? Just,
Yeah.
And I think what I want to specifically look for is like a name attached to the last person who piloted.
So there's nothing preventing you from it, but it's not something that's recorded. It seems like maybe this pirate crew has kind of a rotating, like maybe they're all kind of a jack of all trades. Maybe they're kind of good at a little bit of everything, but they don't necessarily like log in to a fighter. Basically, it's pop the cockpit, get in, pressurized suit, pressurized helmets on, and they just open the bay doors and launch. They're not like a carrier where a carrier might have launch tubes. Basically, it's just a wide open bay, and they just pull up their landing gear, engage their anti-grav to kind of get them away from the ship outside the docking bay, and then they kick in their thrusters.
Is there anything personal in the cockpit? Bullhead or something?
Sure. Let's say that there is a small, in one of them there is a book. I mean, old paper book, looks really yellowed, has some sort of symbol on the front of it. Looks kind of like a six-pointed, like a hexagon almost. And I mean, it's old because nobody reads paper books anymore. At least as far as like galactic common culture is concerned. Everybody pretty much, if you're reading from some sort of a digital display. But yeah, that's one thing that you definitely notice.
I'd like to take it.
Okay. So it looks like some type of a spiritual text, and it's in a language that you do not understand.
I'm ready to go. Should we go?
All right, cool.
So Dorcas and Dev basically watches as Maze just pilfers this object from the cockpit of one of these fighter craft. And so what's your next step?
I guess we need to figure out where their tubes are so we can tie them.
I'm gonna make the same joke. Oh yes.
So it looks like this Marauder ship has 3 decks, and their second deck is where they have assault uh, their assault tubes. Basically, they're boarding tubes. These are the ones that it looks like they are designed specifically for punching through hull instead of just connecting up with an airlock. And as you make your way through the airlock from the docking bay onto the main second deck, the ship is empty. So it pretty much, it seems like they only had just enough crew to be able to pull off this boarding action, and they have been pretty confident that they could leave the ship completely defenseless and unoccupied. That's how confident they are that they are in leaving the ship behind, their ship unmanned until their boarding action is done. So you're able to make your way without any resistance, without any opposition to where those boarding tubes are. And as soon as you get there, you hear the sound of energy weapon fire, of blast weapon fire. So Dorcas, we'll start with you. What do you do?
Move out of the way so the people that have the blasty things can do things about the blasty stuff. Like we're gonna duck and roll back.
So you're gonna let Dev and Maze go first, and follow up behind them. Take the rear position.
Yep, I'll be scoping out for exits, means of other sneaky entries, and our best way of getting across to the asylum, etc.
Okay, so the docking tube, the assault tube, can fit Dev and Maze side by side with Dorcas behind, and when you get out, when you get across that tube to the other side, what you see is what looks like just it's almost like a warehouse in space, like just long, empty, unadorned, basic, and there are catwalks. So it's one big deck. It looks like its bridge or cockpit is on one end, its drive assembly is on the other, and maybe it has like an engineering crawl space behind the engine assembly, and maybe it has some place in the belly of it for quarters. But it looks like whoever is on board the ship, they've made their living situation they've modified cargo containers to live in. And what you see are grizzled space veteran thugs who are just wandering through this maze of cargo corridors, and whoever's here is pretty much defenseless. They don't have weapons, and they are just, you hear the occasional pow pow and a scream, and then they just continue on their way, and then you hear another one right after it.
Like to, best I can, kind of sneak up and mimic their movements so that they don't see me coming.
Okay.
So I can use my enhancement again. You know.
So why don't you go ahead and roll sneak?
Okay.
Sneak, skulk, whatever you decided to call it.
Both are on my page, so both and. Okay. Well, that is a 9.
Okay. As you are trying very hard to be sneaky, you kick a tool or maybe the lid of a cargo box that you just didn't see, and it scatters across the deck, and it makes a noise, and um, you're able to get you can see some of them. You can see 2 or 3 of them as they're rounding a corner in this maze of cargo containers. But they heard your gaff, and they turned around, and they're going to respond.
And so I'm gonna I tried and it failed. And so instead I kick it and I'm like, hey, you fucking idiots! Over here! We already blasted your ship. Your ship is in tatters. Dumbass. Oh, yeah. Draw attention to myself.
And since they're not looking at me, I'm going to blast them.
Okay.
Because, yeah, Maze is cool. Poor Maze. We'll miss him. Sorry.
Episode 1, 45 minutes in.
Goodbye, everybody. It was nice to know you.
My characters take over. I have no control. So that'd be a 12.
Yeah, you got a shot on one. You are able to get a hit. So one of them. So I'm running them basically as kind of a single entity. So we're just going to kind of go in order around everybody, and when it's the pirate's turn, they're kind of acting in concert. So you guys are going to bring them down as a collective. So Dorcas, it's your turn.
Oh gosh. Okay. Letting my
So you
comrades...
watched Maze try to be real cool, and there was just superstar, and it didn't work, and that gaff alerted a couple of these bozos to your presence.
Yeah, so with my 2 buddies, my 2 comrades in arms here being the ones with arms, I would like to try and I'm reading, hold on. Where we want to is there a way, because we're in a cargo room, like a nice little like maze vibe. I'm thinking one of those Rubik's gold machines. I want to be able to like figure out a way to knock down a box that's gonna knock over the other box, and we have a huge domino effect.
Okay.
And boom, trap all of these space pirates in the middle of the maze somehow,
I like where you're headed.
Division.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So how do you think that you would go about accomplishing that?
We are going to pray that Maze's distraction is absolutely phenomenal and top tier. And kind of do a little like peek over some of the cargo bins. My goal here is to try and roll like a prepare.
I was thinking the same thing, because
so then I can direct them to actually.
So you're kind of you're watching this plan unfold, like so you're turning Maze's situation into a benefit, because now the pirates have turned their attention towards Maze and towards Dev, and so you're going to go ahead and roll prepare. and this is how you're going to. You see the plan unfolding in your mind, and you're gonna try and pull it off.
It's a nice little Sherlock Holmes moment. Oh, thank God for the 10 on the one die, because the other two were twos. So that's going to be a 13.
All right. So what is your objective? So you said you wanted to try and trap them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is that all right. So you said that it was a total of a 12?
It was a total of 13.
It was a total of 13. Okay, good. Because I had a 12. So you beat me. Your plan is successful.
Okay.
You find a precariously placed cargo container, and I don't know, maybe you have some sort of maybe like a portable tractor beam or something that you just sort of like grab at and just kind of like give it a tug, and so you've cut off these pirates' access to the rest of the maze. You've cornered them, and now it's down to them and to you. So now it's their turn, and they are going to open fire. So what I will need each of you to do is I will need each of you to roll. Let me see. Let me look at the character sheet real quick. It's going to be whatever the defend. I want to say, do I have it open already? I do. Yeah. So defend. Now, what I will let you do is you can roll defend with either stature as the attribute or cunning, and you tell me, are you just turning and letting those blaster bolts, those energy bolts, just sort of bounce off your EV suit? Maybe it has some way of reflecting, or are you dodging out of the way? Are you avoiding them altogether? So you get to decide that, and each of you is going to roll defend, and tell me what you get. So we're going to start with Dev and Maze because you all are up front. So I have my result. What did you get on your defend?
I got a 13.
All right. What is you? We tied. So what is your next highest?
With my modifier?
With the modifier, yes.
That is 10.
Okay. So you take a hit. You are as a orange bolt of energy from one of their blast. They look like they have some sort of like a carbine, not a little bit bigger than a pistol. Somewhere either like a heavy pistol or a carbine. But they're wielding it two-handed, like almost like a sawed-off shotgun. And so you're going to mark a hit. And now I'm going to roll against Dev. So Dev, what did you get for your defend?
Oh, sorry. I got a 13.
All right. I definitely missed you. So did you dodge, or did you just let it?
I'm using my cunning, so
Okay, so you dodged. Yep.
Yeah.
Avoided. And there is a chance, Dorcas, you might get a stray shot in your direction. So I need you to defend as well, especially since you just pulled off this this plan of yours. You're muted also.
Does the dodging, defending rule apply here as well?
Yes, it does.
Oh, thank God. That's going to be an 11 then.
Good. That's way better than what I rolled. So you do not get hit. So we are back around to Maze.
Right.
Some duct tape on it. You'll be fine.
No, but really. I keep like a roll on the utility.
Okay. How far away are they from me?
Oh, maybe within 15 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna run up to them.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna strike.
Okay.
With...
And so how are you attacking them?
I'm grabbing. I'm trying to think of a close range weapon. That's kind of like a knife. Yeah, kind of like a knife. Yeah. It's a knife.
Yeah. Okay.
A knife. Sorry.
A tactical knife, if you will.
Yeah, a tactical knife. It has all. It's like a butterfly knife, kind of. And
Okay.
I can fidget with it whenever I need to. Okay. So let me roll well, please. Okay. That is a 9.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm rolling like dog shit. You're fine.
So you try, but they see you coming, and they're just able. The one guy is just able to just you do. He does one of these, and you come in straight with that blade, and you whiff. So Dev, your turn.
What shall I do? I'm shooting them.
I mean, that part I kind of thought was obvious, but I was wondering if you had maybe anything more fancy shooting in mind. But you do you.
I mean, nah, I'm just shooting them. Just because heck, I'm boring. 12.
12 will
just die. I'm gonna marry it.
12 is not good enough.
Oh man.
So your shot you're having trouble drawing a bead, and maybe you catch the end of the cargo container, and you are unsuccessful. So mark the failure. Don't keep track of both successes and failures. And we are back to Dorcas.
All right. So
there's only 3 of you, Dorcas, so the rounds are going to go by pretty quick.
Yes. So with their we've kind of knocked down into the cargo pit, made the maze, little trapped them in the place. Where is the next exit? Like
behind you. It's behind you. So that you would have to come. You'd basically have to backtrack and take another passage around. Like you grabbed where some cargo containers were stacked and toppled them over to block off their advance. So if you wanted to get out of where you were, you'd have to backtrack.
Okay. All right. Is there any? You mentioned a catwalk earlier. Is there one like within the cargo room above?
Yeah, there is. You've got. It looks like there are 3 levels of catwalks that are on this side of the ship. So this is one of the 2 kind of broad sides. So there are 3 levels of catwalks above you. So right where the 2 assault tubes punch their way through, they just barely missed the first catwalk.
Okay.
So there's catwalk 1, 2, 3 in between the deck and the roof. I can't. I'm not even my nautical name for the top.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
dorsal hull section. Dorsal. Yeah, dorsal.
I asked that question, and now I have a completely irrelevant question. Within all of these boxes, what I'd like to open a cargo box and find out what's inside it.
Sure. You open up one, and it looks like it's got some medical supplies.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's helpful. That's great. That's not what I wanted right now. I'm gonna let my friends again continue shooting. I am just gonna open boxes and knock boxes over and try and hopefully continue to barricade things. But stuff I can meld together to make something useful.
All right. So, would you like to? So, under normal
Or heavy
circumstances, you have the jury rig?
I do, yes.
Okay. Under normal circumstances, it would take you a whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I will let you. What we'll do is we'll call this a self challenge or a reflexive challenge. So you are going to challenge yourself with stuff that you have on hand. What would you like to slap together?
I'm looking to slap together, I think, either I'd like a grappling hook of some sort where we can get up to these catwalks very efficiently and then throw things at people from the catwalk. Or a catapult little slingshot mechanism. I'm going for throwing things at people.
Okay. So it sounds like you're more in line with the grappling hook.
I mean, that'd probably be good too.
So do you want to roll not operate
maybe like an explore
could
or
work.
a study
Could also work. What I was thinking was if I can get my PDF to cooperate with me.
Engineering
or
is
engineering.
also a great
Yeah.
one.
So if you are just searching for what's on hand, then explore or study. Otherwise, if you are trying to if you have one of two choices. If you do the explore study option, it's you find something that's already intact.
Okay.
If you do the engineer option, then it's you find some disparate parts and do something really slapdash.
We're gonna go with the study option and hope that we find something, and then if we don't, we'll progress from there.
All right, cool. So go ahead and roll explore. And how many dice do you have in that?
3.
And what's your modifier?
3.
Okay. So what'd you get?
An 8.
Okay. You turn up snake eyes. So no. It's like it's very basic. It's medical supplies. It's first aid bandages. It's some rations, foodstuffs. There's nothing as elaborate as you were hoping for to try and come up with yet another.
We're flinging bandages over our shoulders so that they're like hitting Maze in the face, and we're got a piece of jerky now in between while we're just digging through.
Dorcas, was that used? Was that a used bandage?
No,
I hope they're not selling used.
It was used jerky.
Oh yeah. Man's got to eat what a man's got to eat.
All right. So these pirates don't seem to be deterred by your shenanigans. So they are going to continue to try and kill you. So I need everybody to roll that defend again for me, please.
Oh, 2 10s. Ooh.
All right. Well, guess what that means?
Great.
So what is your total? First of all, that's what we have to make sure that you succeed first.
Wait, defend. That would be a 11. 11?
Okay.
Wait, stamina.
You're defending.
Yeah. Sorry, 12.
12. Okay, guess what? We tied. So what's the second? So your second highest is a 10. My second highest is, so let's see. What's your third highest?
That is a 9. So it'd be 11.
A total of okay. You beat me on the 11. I had a 9, a 7, and a 7.
Oh my God.
So you succeed. So mark the success. And you critical because you had 2 unmodified 10s.
Ooh.
So you get to hold on to a critical. So criticals will, by just their most basic benefit is you can spend them like points towards an automatic success as long as you declare it in advance. If you hedge your bet and you wait for the results, then it's less effective.
Okay.
Now, some of you may have enhancements that say that you can spend banked criticals. So you should have a box on a character sheet that has criticals banked. So you're going to put a 1 in there, and you may or may not have enhancements that that work with banked criticals. But if not, it's okay. They have a benefit no matter what. So if you, before we determine success or failure, you look at your dice and you're like, okay, I'm just going to spend the critical, automatic success.
Okay.
So this time you take advantage of your environment and you set up a ricochet and you get hit on a couple of them. So that blast bolt not only hits 1 but hits 2. And they're starting to flag. They're starting to look like they are like there's like a half a dozen of them, and their confidence of their skill level versus just 3 of you, they're starting to like, you can see the looks on their faces are all like, maybe we're in over our head. So all right. I lost my train of thought. We were doing defending, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My turn, we were doing defending. So be glad that I goofed, Dev, because we were defending. You were not attacking, but yeah, I'm gonna let you have it regardless. Maybe your defense was a good offense. Maybe that's what it was.
There you go.
So I am shooting at Maze and I am shooting at Dorcas. So Dorcas, what did you get for the defend?
That is a 12. Does the cunning rule apply again here for defense? Okay, then that is a 12.
All right, so I do not hit you. Maze, what you got?
I got a 12.
Okay, what is your next highest?
An 11.
Okay, I do not hit you.
Yes. Let's go.
Mark a success.
It's my first success. That wasn't an automatic.
Okay, and we're back around to you, Maze.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try again. Finagle. Make it look pretty.
Do you want to try and pull off a fantastic? I love it.
Pull off a what?
No, I'm sorry. I can. Caden shared the picture of their crit in the chat in one of the chats. So
Cute.
yes. Okay. Do you want to try and line up your surprise attack again? Is what I was going to ask.
Do
you want to try and like maybe take advantage of their?
I would love to try. I would
Okay.
absolutely love to try. I would love to like use one of them. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna like duck behind some boxes, and try to do
Okay.
that.
So why don't you roll stealth again?
Okay. And I couldn't use my quick exit enhancement in this case, correct?
Let me look at it real quick.
Yeah. I have to interact. I have to issue an interaction challenge with an opponent.
Okay, so then tell me what would be your objective, because yes, you could try the quick exit, but if you quick exited, you're gone.
Mm.
So do you want to flee,
Yeah.
or
I
do
don't
you?
want to quick exit. Yeah, then I don't want to quick exit yet.
Okay, so
And
it
I will
sounds
just.
more like you want a surprise attack.
Yeah, I definitely want a surprise attack. So I sneak first.
Yes.
Okay. Sneak. That is an 11.
You pull off the sneak,
Let's go.
so you mark a success,
Whoop.
and you get an automatic hit because you basically like feint, and you take advantage of their kind of fumbling and their lack of confidence, and you float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and you get your jab in with your tactical knife, your flying butterfly knife. Dev, since you pulled off an attack already, I'm going to give you. So you got your successful attack in with your crit, and that's going to be your turn.
Cool.
So that brings us around to Dorcas.
Dorcas, who, how many are left in their little the shebang, their group?
It looks like maybe like they're not. You haven't killed them outright,
Yeah.
but they are kind of. There are like 3 that are definitely still up and 100% like, yeah, we're gonna fuck you up.
That are gonna try and shoot.
Yeah. Then the other ones are like tucking tail and like trying to lick their wounds.
Okay. In that case, we. I need to make a weapon. Is what I need to do next time. We're going to. So they're cargo crates. They got lids. We're gonna go hit them with a lid.
You're gonna run up and steal a chair, hit them with the lid.
Yeah.
Fling it. Like
no, we're gonna steal a chair, hit them with a.
Okay.
I can't fling a lid. I'm gonna be much better just going up there with Maze, like flanking.
I like it. Let's try it.
We're going for the flank.
All right.
What?
So you don't have a skill.
I don't. No, right. So what do I?
But what I'm going to say is that with your ally up there with you, with you pulling off your flank, I'm going to let you roll 2 dice instead of 1.
Haha! Success. Oh wait, I don't actually know if it's a success. I didn't. Oh, that's where the dot is. That is a 9 on the die.
Okay, what is your next highest?
6 on the die.
That's enough because I had a 7 on my highest for a total of 9, and I had a 5 on my second highest. So, bonk. Steel chair. My God, he's got a steel chair.
Coming in from the catwalk. Not yet, but
all right.
in the future.
As with that bonk from the cargo lid, the last one is like, fuck this. Drops his carbine. I'm done.
Incapacitate them.
Okay, so you're just going to knock them
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll hand you a cargo lid.
How are we feeling about taking a break?
Sure.
Okay.
Down.
Call it. I see 8:53. We want to call it 5 after 9. Cool.
Good.
All right. So let's go to commercial. Alrighty, and we are back from our commercial break. So, you have successfully repelled an attack from a crew of asshole pirates who have. You're muted again, Dorcas, FYI. Okay. Um, so you have incapacitated these ne'er do well scallywags, and so you have a situation on your hands now. First of all, you have your ship. You have the Speed Racer. You have the Pirate Marauder cruiser, and you have this giant floating warehouse in space. Now, what you find is that there's probably about 2 dozen or so people, refugee type people, that are on board the bulk freighter. Um, the pirates did manage to, unfortunately, murder some of them, uh, but they didn't get very far. So you guys were very Johnny on the spot, and you showed up before the pirates had the real opportunity to eliminate the refugees on board the asylum barge, and uh, so you were able to not only save the the supplies that they had, the cargo crates, you were able to save the majority of the refugees. Um, what you are noticing, though, as you are kind of getting an idea, a sense of the situation, is um, most of these cargo crates still bear the seal of the authority. So you've got that's one thing that you notice. And another thing that you notice is that these refugees look more almost like they were prisoners rather than refugees. They are wearing uh, varying stages of kind of like your drab jumpsuits that you might find in a labor camp or something along those lines. Um, but you've got that you're able to just take very quick stock of the situation because um, those holes that the assault tubes punched in the hull of the Jeremiah are not going to hold a good atmospheric seal for long. So that's your most immediate concern is making a hard seal. Um, your second most immediate concern, or I should say, that's your most immediate concern. Now, your other concerns are um, what you're going to do about the bulk freighter, what you're going to do about because there's damage to the cruiser as well. Um, so you have an immediate situation, and then you have some subsequent ones which you can kind of take more time to deal with, but the um, making a hard atmospheric seal inside the bulk freighter is the most urgency.
Well, is there stuff conveniently? Obviously it's big holes on the side with the tubes. So we're gonna be looking for some sort of big metal thing to cover for now. Maybe that we could weld. to it somehow?
There's plenty of cargo containers. There's cargo containers of varying sizes. So there are ones that are big enough that you could do a makeshift weld.
Heck yeah. Okay.
Another thing that you could do is that you could say goodbye to the bulk freighter and focus on the cruiser as well. That's a possibility for you. Now these refugee, prisoner, forced labor camp people are, first of all, incredibly grateful that you came when you did. You were able to come as quickly as you did. That you were able to overpower them, overpower the pirates. They are able to help to a degree. None of them are highly technically skilled. In fact, what they tell you is that they actually overpowered the crew of the bulk freighter and basically just enabled the automatic pilot.
There is no pilot.
Pilot.
There is no pilot.
Okay.
Oh, dudes.
Good for them.
What happened to the crew?
Yeah.
They basically, because it had such a little crew to begin with, they were all like experienced authority naval officers. The
Wow.
the prisoners put together a plan to basically take them by sheer numbers. And so they took over the ship by virtue of sheer numbers and killed the crew. It was a small crew to begin with. They killed the crew and they engaged the automatic pilot and they just let it take them. What they tell you is that they were forced into labor at an authority facility of some kind.
Okay.
So what I will need, if you want to deal with the situation of establishing the hard seal, you're going to have to probably, the way that I see it is you'll have to probably, because you'll need access to get back and forth between ships. So you're going to have to do away with one tube entirely. Like you're going to have to cut that one off completely, and then make a seal around the other one.
Okay.
So you're totally blocking off one, but you're keeping one intact to be able to get back and forth between the two ships. Ultimately, you're probably going to have to jettison both tubes, but that is something that you guys will have to decide how you want to handle it. But to deal with the urgent situation, what I will need is some roles from everybody. So you tell me how you are contributing to the effort. I think that Dorcas is the only character with an engineer skill. So we can. This is the time to look at what you've got and tell me how you think that you could contribute. And we're gonna need some successful checks. So really, what you're rolling against is you're rolling against the dilemma. The dilemma is the source of the opposition in this case.
Super quick question. Would all of the like folks in this ship fit in the cruiser?
Yeah, there's only maybe like 20 of them total.
And so then would they be living there like comfortably, or would it be more like sardines in a can?
It wouldn't be sardines in a can, but it wouldn't be comfortable.
Okay.
Like there's space for everybody, but it's not nice living. Though you could tell that the pirates, I mean, that they didn't really give a shit, and they just allowed conditions to, they focused more on raiding than on maintaining a certain quality of life. So what are we thinking? How are we gonna what are we rolling? Are you just rolling for funsies, or are you actually making a challenge, or issuing a challenge of some kind?
I'm rolling for I'm using the prepare skill
Okay.
to uh get all of the like people together, aliens, I don't know, the folks.
If
Um
there seems to be a variety of humanoid species that are gathered.
so everybody who's there, I'm gathering them up to loot the pirate ship of resources, and using that like left bridge to bring back and forth resources, whether that's food, liquid, more beds, truly getting anything and everything, to make their stay more livable on the
Okay.
other side.
Okay. So go ahead and roll that prepare for me.
I got an 11.
Okay. Okay. So you can basically, we can say, if we're looking at this like a track, basically a challenge track, or a situation track. So that contributed a success to the track. What it's looking like is the bulk freighter you're not going to have enough people for both the Marauder and the bulk freighter. Um, Keeping the Marauder cruiser is probably the better bet. So really, it would be a question of taking supplies off the freighter, the bulk freighter, and onto the cruiser. So, Dev, how are we thinking that we're going to contribute to?
I think I'm going to drop everything. I'm just going to explore the bulk freighter to see if I can find supplies that they're going to need to put onto the cruiser. Because I don't know how many bins and boxes are on this thing, but I'm sure there's enough to.
So
figure out.
you're using explore then.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
11.
Okay. So do you want to look for supplies to help with maintaining the atmosphere, or do you want to be similar to what Maze is doing, trying to identify the most actionable contents of crates, the stuff that you want to focus on keeping rather than disposing of?
I think keeping stuff, whether it's for them or maybe for us too, because,
Well, I mean, it might be
you need a reward.
it might be a little of column A, a little of column B.
Yeah.
It seems like they were maybe a dozen and a half pirates. Um, the prisoners, the refugee prisoners, managed to fend off a few of them, cut them down to maybe about a dozen. And I mean, it was all just use of the environment and taking them by surprise, rather than, I mean, they don't have weapons. Um, maybe the naval officers that were crewing the bulk freighter, maybe they had some sidearms that would have been, and there would have been like maybe half a dozen of those at best. So, oh yeah, so it sounds to me like, so Maze, you're kind of coordinating the effort, the people, with your preparations, and Dev, you are searching for, you're trying to assess what the best, what the right supplies are, what the most meaningful supplies are um, to bring over, and that brings us to Dorcas.
I'm fixing the thing.
The thing. So you're going to get you're going to re-roll an engineer, and you're going to get a helper die from these prisoners.
Nice.
And do you have what spheres did you take?
I took my background gave me Galactic Standard.
Okay, I'm thinking more expertise.
Yeah. I was doing like the navigation, piloting.
Right. So I don't think that's necessarily going to be applicable here.
Yeah,
since
no.
you're doing more fixing, but you're
Uh-huh.
definitely going to get a helper die from the prisoners.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that.
Right. That is going to be a 9.
I got a 7.
Cool.
Yeah. So so that's that. Each of you have contributed a success to the situation track, and there were no failures. So
Nice.
basically, your plan to leave behind the bulk freighter, keep the Marauder. You're able to create a hard atmosphere seal. It effectively means getting rid of these assault tubes altogether. But Dorcas, you're going to be doing your work from the Marauder side, from the cruiser side, cutting free the assault tubes, and then putting in the makeshift welding plates, these cargo container lids that you are converting into deck bulkhead plating in a pinch to create hard atmosphere on the cruiser side. And you for a moment you feel a little bit sad because I mean there's definitely just so much stuff on that bulk freighter, but on the you now have a pirate Marauder cruiser. You have 4 one-man snub fighter craft. You have your original ship, the Speed Racer, and you have, like I said, somewhere around 20 of these refugee prisoners who, I mean, they're not highly skilled, but they're good at taking they're good at taking direction, and they're hardworking. You can tell that they have been survivors. So what they explain to you is that they once lived in a star system where the authority showed up one day and said, "We're planetary surveyors and explorers and scientists, and we are looking at improving the climate and the topology of the planets in your star system." And then basically proceeded to perform experiments, but uh, in such a way that initially proved uh, problematic and turned into outright like we are just going to strip mine for resources and we are going to uh, incarcerate the population, turn them into forced labor, and do weird stuff to the planets in their star system. As far as they know, the facility is still there and the experiments are still ongoing. But so I mean they don't know if they have the capability of going back and wrecking shop and taking control of their star system again. There's really only just a couple of dozen of them, or, 20 of them at best. But they're kind of conflicted. I mean, they've survived, but they don't really know if they have the capability to, because this is, I mean, even though the war is long over and several years have passed since everybody kind of officially acknowledged that the war is over and that the galaxy as everyone knew it is over and everyone has sort of moved on, the story that these prisoners are telling is that these scientists have continued to operate as if nothing changed.
Is there like insight check of some sort that can be made? Just like, I mean, like, not to fully like discredit their story, but also like, what if these are the authoritarian naval officers and they were prisoners at one point? I don't know, some.
And that's a valid concern, but you don't even need to make a check because none of them are trying to deceive you.
Okay.
So basically, as you're listening to their story, you are able to determine that they're making no efforts whatsoever to sell you a bullshit story. Definitely would be something that would dawn on all of your minds that, what if but also too, when you kind of start to like put the pieces together, like you can tell that they have definitely survived hardship also. They look, they're lean, and they're not trained military. um, the only reason why they are good at direction is because they've had it drilled, indoctrinated into them. So yeah, so you don't get the sense that they're lying to you.
And when was the last time, like, not like trying to be in, when were you there last? Like, how recent is recent?
I mean, it's maybe been a week.
Okay.
If we're going on authority chronometers, maybe 10 authority standard days.
Do you have any idea, like you said experiments on like topology and stuff. Do you have any idea anymore, like what it looked like, what it did?
So they explained to you that that their home star system consists of 5 planets, and one of them was utterly destroyed. The only thing that's left behind is the shattered fragments of this planet. So it looks like maybe they were doing some sort of seismic or tectonic experimentation that resulted in the whole planet just exploding. The other planets have um, very inhospitable environments, frozen wastelands, noxious swamps, overgrown jungles, scorched desert. There's also one. They describe it as an artificial planet. Maybe they tried to replace the one that was destroyed, but it looks like they maybe built some type of a space station that they were intending to be an artificial either planet or moon. But that's the only information they had to go on.
So we're gonna go and take them out, right? We got to stop this. They can't have guys just running around and changing things willy-nilly just to see what happens.
No, I definitely agree with you on that.
Little small.
Yeah, we're just some little guys.
Yeah.
But we did just pick up like 20 more people. And did we leave the pirates on the freighter, or did we?
We could have them tied up.
I would personally prefer not to leave anybody just like drifting in space. So if we could take the pirates and then at some point have like a diplomatic conversation with them with a piece of glass between us.
Yeah,
about.
Have a diplomatic conversation with them if you don't want to watch.
Yeah, see,
Okay, I'll make sure that it's okay.
I won't watch if I can read that book you found earlier.
I can't read it. It's in a different
Right.
language that I don't know, so I'd be very happy to give you this,
Yes,
but I
I
would
feel
love
like-
it back.
I feel like that's a great trade-off. You can
Trade off. Okay, awesome.
you can have
Okay.
whatever diplomatic conversations you need to have
Okay,
between glass.
Dorcas, I'm not going to be between glass. We're going to be in the same room, and they're going to be tied up. But what is your
Diplomatic.
definition of diplomatic? Asking for me, but I am also a friend.
You know, alive.
Okay,
Preferably
awesome. And I
not
walk.
on the brink of.
I walk after hearing
You
alive.
hear-
I
you
am not
hear
listening.
on the communicators. Preferably not like on the brink of. I don't want to have to fix them too. I already fixed the ship too much.
They're not a part of the ship.
If you hurt
There are
them
people
too
on the
much,
ship,
they
it's
can't
okay.
help. We need them to help.
I'll make them help. I mean,
Roger,
we'll talk about getting them to help.
To get them to help. We might need to get them to help when you're.
all you hear is just. Okay, so you've got a half a dozen tied up pirates in their brig, which just looks like a room. It's their brig.
Mhm.
It's maybe like a repurposed. It doesn't seem like this came off the assembly line intending to ever be a pirate ship. It looks like they took it over. They boarded and took it over for themselves and repurposed. So it looks like maybe this is a smaller cargo bay that they converted to a brig. So there's no life support in this area. There's no climate control. It's cold. You have to wear a breathing mask, and you would have had to have given them oxygen because there's no life support in their brig. So what you're gonna say to them?
First, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going
Okay.
to take a knife and stab one of them in the leg.
Okay.
They're absolutely bound. And I'm going to smile. I'm going to be like, hi, everybody. My name is Maze, and I'm going to be your helper today. Helper. We're going to help out. Everyone's going to help out. And then I'm going to stab one of them in the leg. And then I'm going to look at all of them, and I'm like, all right. That's for hitting me with a blaster back in the other ship. You know? We're here. We're all alive. Some of you may not make out of this alive. But honestly, I only promise like one of you to be alive walking out of here. So I can have as much fun as I want. So what all of you are going to do is you're going to listen to me, and then we're going to go out and you're going to listen to everybody else, and then we're all going to become friends. And I'm just going to be looking over my shoulder at every single one of you until you leave the ship again. Do I make myself abundantly clear? And then I take the knife out and stab them again, but in the other leg.
So I'd like for you to roll argue.
Okay.
And you're gonna and just the way that it is. So it's a minimum of 2 dice, unless you had an extra one in there. It starts unlocked, so it starts with a rating of 2. So I don't know if your character had brought it up to 3. What does it say? So the rating for argue is 3. Okay. So yeah. So go ahead and roll that.
Ugh. Okay. That is a 13.
Yeah, that is some aggressive negotiations that are successful. They are all shit scared of you. They think that you will flat out murder them if given the opportunity. And
This is the opportunity. and I'm choosing not to. I'm just making sure you know who I am.
Maze. Yes. Okay. Um,
We're all going to become friends, and then once you leave the ship, I'm never going to think about you again. So you don't ever have to think about me again after you leave. But for right now, we're going to work and we're going to be helpers because I'm the first helper.
okay. Yeah. They're terrified of you. They basically, you sound like a psychopath, and that you could murder any of them whenever you feel like it. And yeah.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
you have converted them to your cause.
Incredible. All of you are going to get untied.
Okay. And what would you like for them to do?
What are all of you good at?
We're all kind of good at a few things. Like, we can fly pretty good. We can shoot pretty good. We can.
But when you like first realized who you were, is this what you wanted to do with your life? Or like were there other things that like called to you and we can like really work on that and really like make it better for you and make it better for the whole ship?
One of them raises their hand. I really like to cook.
Morale? Hello? Food is top tier. We need to make sure that we got high morale. You are gonna be in the kitchen. You're gonna be cooking up some good grub. Everyone's gonna love you for it. It's gonna be great. I love that.
Just smiles. I get
See,
to be the cook.
we
If
all
I
get to
cook
live.
good, do I get to live?
You get to live right now, and until you betray me, if
I,
you choose to betray me,
nope, nope.
then you're gonna live. You're gonna live a long and happy life. There's nothing to worry about. You get to cook in the kitchen.
And he goes off to the galley.
What does everybody else want to do? Obviously, we have those 4 single pilot like fighters,
Yeah.
and like I'm not much of a flyer if I'm being completely honest. But if any of you are, be very happy to use them and help us out with them.
We fly sometimes in the fighters.
Yeah. Which one of you had the book, by the way? The one with like it kind of had like a hexagon shape in the front. Um, I would love to have a conversation with you about it.
One of them sort of half-heartedly raises his hands, like, I mean, it was mine, but I don't even know what it means. I can sort of make out the characters. I think it was something about, like, it's like some alien culture's origin story of the universe. Uh, but
Um,
that's just me just sort of guessing, because I mean, I can't really read their language.
That's okay. It's okay that you don't know things. It's okay that you're not good at certain things. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and that is okay. Okay? We're all gonna man the ship together, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a collective. We're all gonna be a family. And I'm gonna be the matriarch that everyone is afraid of. Okay?
Okay. What do you want us to call you? Captain?
You just call me Maze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew. Well, Captain, no. I like being Maze, and like slink it back, hang it back. If you really need stuff to do, honestly, Dorcas is really smart. I'm not as smart as Dorcas. I'm just very what's the word? Scary.
Okay. We can work. We can fix um, the damage to the hull, and yeah,
Yeah,
we can inventory all the supplies that we brought over, and yeah.
that'd be great. And then we'll all meet for dinner soon.
Sounds good.
All right.
Can we go
Um,
now?
yeah. Where's your medical bay? I'm gonna take the person I stabbed there. I feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I mean, Some of us have first aid, but we have an there's an infirmary on the ship. Yeah.
I'll take them there.
Okay. One of the prisoners is a has some field medic experience, so he can stand in as the ship's doctor.
I would like to just have a quick conversation with the person first. Without anyone present. I promise I won't hurt him. Just questions. I promise.
Okay.
So how'd you find the Jeremiah? And you have to be honest, or I'm gonna know.
I thought we told you how we found it. It was in orbit, I mean, it was part of it was the last ship that stayed behind when, I mean, so the Authority had a task force of ships in the system. They fled when the worst of the fighting happened. They were recalled to join one of the larger fleets. So this freighter stayed behind. So we saw an opportunity to hijack the freighter and make our way to freedom.
So have you previously been with the Authority?
No, we were taken prisoner.
Rid of the pirate?
The pirate, are you talking to? So one of the prisoners basically said that he has some basic field medic experience.
No, I'm talking to the pirate.
Oh, you're talking to the pirates. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so how
I'm
did they?
talking to the pirate.
Well, you know, we have sensors, and we picked up. I mean, this thing was traveling at sublight. It was pretty easy pickings.
There's no other reason. Are you so then I asked the question again, obviously. Have you ever been a part of the Authority?
Never needed to be, really. We got along just fine without him. But I mean, an Authority bulk freighter traveling at sublight, like, I mean, it was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Familiar with that term. So it was easy picking. It was easy. It was just, it's there. It's just like
They run with skeleton crews. They have whole tons of supplies that, I mean, money doesn't even matter, hardly even matter anymore. Nobody accepts any kind of currency anymore. So, um, you know, rations, medical supplies, tools, weapons. I'm sure some of those crates had weapons. I'm sure some of them had, blast pistols, rifles, grenades. Who knows? I'm actually surprised that the prisoners didn't get to it, couldn't make their way and find it.
well, when you watch your world die, I don't think you think about things normally ever again. But that's just my thought.
Gotta survive somehow.
Anyway,
People survive, some people don't. It's just kind of the way the world's gone, the way the universe has worked.
certain parts of people survive and others have to die off. Anyway, when after you see the field doctor, where can I expect to see you?
You tell me. I'll find work to do.
I'm asking, what do you like to do when you were first knew about yourself? You were like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. What was it?
You can tell that he's annoyed by the question. Like, it's like, I don't know. I guess I played grav ball when I was in secondary school. I mean, that was fun, but whoever really knows what they want to do with their lives?
What do you want to do with your life right now, other than not die? Because that is not a good enough answer for me.
How about I pick up heavy things and put them down again? For now.
Okay. Okay. I mean, those legs really aren't gonna help you out very much because I
Um,
stabbed them. But you know, we'll get there. It'll be okay. Rehab is really important. I really want you to stick to it. It's okay to get, take time for PTOT, okay? I need you to dedicate yourself to that. All right?
okay.
But the
I,
doctor will talk more about that.
when I've healed up some more, maybe I can do some manual labor. How about that?
Yeah, I would love that. Last manual labor for me. Oh my gosh. I'll be keeping a close eye on you. And then I skip out. All ready for you.
All right, Dev. So there's kind of a bustle of activity going on. Uh, what are we thinking about?
Oh, I'm supposed to think. Oh, yeah.
Does Dev think? I mean,
Really not.
the last like firing of the brain cylinders was yeah, we just have to find these fuckheads and tear it all down.
Yeah.
Mays made a very good point that and Dorcas made good points that they're just little guy. You guys are you're not that many. Maybe 30 of you if you combine everybody. Um, so you gotta come up with a plan. You maybe had to do some scouting ahead and get the lay of the land and figure out, because it all depends on how many authority of these authority scientists are left behind. Um,
Mm,
what kind of, I mean, if they are just scientists, they might be easy pickings. They might be,
yeah.
um, if they're just geological scientists and surveyors and uh, climatologists, planetologists, then they might be easy pickings. You might be able to. They might not even put up a fight.
What are they going to do? Throw us their handheld computer thingies at us and stick a pencil in her head or something? I don't know. We still
I,
cooking?
I think Mays would be more inclined to stick a pencil in somebody's head.
True.
Um, so you're definitely gonna have to. You're gonna have to see the place
Yes.
and get some more information, but you're gonna have to come up with
A plan.
some kind of plan.
So we're going to have to survey them, watch them, see how many there are, what they're doing. If they're doing evil things, we take them out. If they're not, I'll let Maze talk to them, I guess. Or Dorcas. They talk good. Hey, Dorcas, we got any way to see what we're going into?
Do we got any way we could see where we're like does this marauder bulk cruiser have any sort of like sensors or head or what I'd like to go to the bridge, I guess, at some point and study.
That would be a good idea. So it definitely has a bridge, and the bridge is on the top deck. So you have 3 decks. The main deck is where you guys came in. The top deck is where the bridge is, and quarters for crew. And the bottom deck is where there is cargo. So that would be where the brig would have been. There's multiple cargo bays. Um, engineering is more formal. Um, there is a fusion reactor. There are 4 engine nacelles that are providing thrust. It is FTL capable. It does have a Q-axis drive. It looks like it would be best crewed by about If you could coordinate 10 people, you would get the most efficiency out of the ship. Now, that might be a lot of hand holding and that might be a lot of like running around, but you can basically be telling some of these people, some of these former prisoners, hey, push that button, hey, watch that screen, and many hands will make things easier, but only a fraction of them have any kind of spacefaring knowledge. So maybe they can work in teams. But the
Okay.
question is, are you all in agreement that you're going to go check out this star system, and B, bring these people back there and C, try and help them regain control of what was their home?
So I'm guessing then there weren't any sensors or anything to sort of like check out on the, because that's what I'd gone up on the bridge.
The ship has
Okay.
sensors, but it's just you're too far away. So
Okay.
you would have to FTL back to that system in order to get close enough for the sensors to give you any information.
So that's what I would relay back to you, Dev. Is, yeah, but we're too far away. I mean, like, we could take one of those fighters maybe and scout out ahead real quick, and then
Once you get there, though, those fighters don't have their own FTL.
okay.
I mean, yeah, I might as well check it out, I think. If it's okay with Maze. I mean, then we can get these people back to their home and then we don't have to, and we can go off on our own and do what we do, whatever that is.
Well, I think part of the problem is they don't really have a home anymore.
Well,
so we're gonna have to clear off those people if we're dropping people off.
yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have time on your hands. If you, they can plot the coordinates to make the FTL jump to bring them back to their system.
See, I'd like to do it like just outside of their system, though. I don't want to just immediately jump into the system knowing that the authority is there.
That makes total sense. So you'll have some time until you arrive. So would you like to spend some more time with doing a more extensive jury rig? Is there anything that you would like to build while you're in Q access mode?
I was wanting to check out the book, because I took that was part of my deal with Maze for her to go stabbing apparently space pirates. I don't know about the stabbing yet, but when I find out, you better pay off that doctor. Anyway,
okay, so
yes.
to give you an idea of, so the book is like, it's about the size of a 4x6 index card.
Okay.
It's got a very worn leather, dark blue leather cover. It's just barely holding on to its pages. And this symbol that's on the cover of it looks like this. Definitely similar to a hexagon, but more elaborate than that. Almost looks like six or seven. You can't really tell that whether or not they're interlocking or not, but it looks like each of the corners of the hexagon is a circle, and it looks like they're all have the centers of the circles are all intersecting with each other, like lines have been drawn between them. The language of the text is definitely of a species that you're not familiar with. None of you are. But if you used a computer, you probably could. It would take some time, but you could probably translate it.
Okay. Cool. Cause yeah, I'd like to work on like translating and stuff with that.
Okay.
Um.
You had a
Yes.
language, an alien language, that you spent a week on in a hyperfixation.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to like meta.
No, but it's not going to be it's not going to be a perfect match.
Right.
But it seems like there is some syntactic grammatical similarity
Okay.
that will between you and the ship's computer will help you to be able to translate it fully.
Bet.
So several days pass. You drop out of Q access mode. You drop out of FTL. You are back in real space, and you are outside of this star system. So you can see the bright orange star in the distance, and you can see its 5 planetary orbiting bodies. And now you can use the ship's sensors to get more information. So working in concert with these former prisoners and the ship's sensors, what you're able to tell is that there are 5 planets in the system.
Yeah.
There is the remains of one shattered planet that tracks with what they explained to you. There is one that is, it looks like it has, its atmosphere is breathable. There is definitely some chemical in the composition of the atmosphere that is giving it a kind of multi-hued, almost like pastel quality to it from what the ship sensors are taking the EM readings and kind of mapping them to a visual representation. The second planet is primarily covered in jungle. Warmer than average temperatures. Something about the planet's crust is unusual, and that planet has a single moon. The third planet is almost entirely desert, and suspended in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is incredibly is warmer, is probably the hottest of the 5 planets, and it seems like it's humid, but the liquid that is suspended in the atmosphere of the desert planet is metallic in nature, like very hard water. It has a single large ocean, and it is surrounded by 4 artificial satellites. The 4th planet is practically a frozen waste. Has a very thin atmosphere. You would not be able to walk around on the planet without your EV suits. It has a single moon, and it also has a single large ocean that is completely frozen. The moon that orbits the 4th planet is also covered in massive craters, like lots of collisions of some of other celestial bodies that impacted on the surface. And the last planet is not really even a planet. It's more like a completely artificial structure. It's like the Authority came in and built a space station and put it in orbit as if it were an artificial planet. It is surrounded by a matrix of shields, of metal shields, almost like they're intended to. They're on one side. They're flat, but the side that's facing the sun is they're like solar collectors. So it almost looks like they were maybe building something like a Dyson sphere on a very small scale. It is and there is there are some dust rings surrounding the fourth planet. That's all the information that you're able to get from the sensors.
So there's 6 bodies, with one of them being the destroyed planet. Okay. Love that so much. When I've been staring at a hexagon for the last week, several days.
So when the ship's computer is finished working on the translation, what you get is like, this seems like almost like the book of Genesis for this ancient civilization. It talks about how there was this precursor civilization that was trying to understand the workings of the universe, and they conducted some extensive endeavor or experiment to try and learn everything that could possibly be learned about the universe. And in the result of that, there was a catastrophe. And that catastrophe was what was responsible for the formation of the universe. So this progenitor race or the progenitor species went away, and they were replaced, or from that catastrophe emerged 2 diametrically opposed species that almost instantly went to war with each other and almost instantly wiped each other out. The result of that very brief, very violent conflict seems like there's no more talk of them, and they are replaced then by 3 new altogether species. The Sharul, the Shaleth, and the Shadow. And I'll put spellings in chat between now and next session, so you don't have to worry about figuring out how to spell. As a matter of fact, they're also in the basic game. If you go to the
like one of the first pages.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
it's pretty early on.
It's page 4. Yes, the Shurul, the Shal. Although this text refers to the third as the Shadao, the Bella prefix is not included. So refers to them as the Shurul, the Shaleth, and the Shadao. And the other thing that's notable in the text is there's some type of a myth story that talks about 3 brothers and how each of the brothers they each had a special ability or a special power. One of them had perfect memory. One of them had the ability to create illusions, and one of them had the ability to preserve life. And something happened. There was some sort of drastic difference of opinion between the oldest 2. I'm sorry, the oldest and the youngest. Varus, Metis, and Dascus. Varus was the oldest. He's the one with the perfect memory. Dascus is the youngest. He's the one that can create illusions. And Metis is the middle one who can preserve life. There was a difference of opinion between the oldest and the youngest brother about what really mattered, whether or not history should be like recorded, or if all that mattered was the stories that we told to each other. And the middle brother was all like, you guys shouldn't be fighting. And there was, they basically all came to a head, and they all wound up going in completely opposite directions and taking over their own little dominion, their own little domains. And it's strange that it's in this book, but it's there nevertheless. So
The
ahead.
the way the book ends, does it feel like there are any more installments?
Possibly. It definitely seems like this could be this could be the first book in a kind of a legendarium or a it might almost be a history. It's hard to tell, and all the translation doesn't. There's a certain degree of nuance that's lost. The translation does not indicate whether or not this is myth or if this is history.
Okay.
Like the voice that is involved in expressing the story, it you get the impression either they don't know whether it's real or whether it's fiction, or if they know and they don't care, or maybe there is no difference between as far as they're concerned. So after several days, you're able to get so the cruiser is basically back in good shape. The blast damage, the cannon damage, you guys were able to get repaired. You're able to get the hole that you punched in the blast doors to the fighter bay, get them repaired. And I mean, you've kind of cleaned this place up and made it into a, and also too, because the cruiser only has the one bay, you probably would have to take the speed racer and clamp it to the outside of the hull. Either that or Dorcas, you would have to pilot it and basically mirror the coordinates from your side and basically have two independently operating ships. You'd have to figure that out.
Dorcas would probably feel much more comfortable driving the ship than leaving it clamped to the side of another ship. Okay. This is her grandfather's ship. We can do evasive maneuvers if I'm in it versus, oh no, somebody's gonna shoot my ship off the side of my ship.
Got it. Sounds good. So you have two ships.
Yes.
And they have both arrived at the exterior of this system. The other thing that you can tell is that it does look like the space station has some automated defenses.
I hate that.
Either they're kind of drones, like drone ships, or satellites or something like that. But there is definitely they do have the ability to defend themselves.
Are we able to get like a read on life signs?
Yes. So there are life signs on board the space station.
And are there life signs anywhere else? Like on that? I know you'd mentioned there was a breathable planet with a really pretty atmosphere.
So the first and the second planet, the swamp planet, the jungle planet, both have breathable atmospheres.
Okay.
It looks like they have the authority scientists have put outposts on those planets, and there are life signs there. The desert planet and the frozen planet are unoccupied.
Okay.
So, would we like to call the end of the session at this point and talk about next episode? You guys figuring out between now and next episode, figuring out what you want to do next.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
I mean, there's another choice other than we go in and kill them all.
I think we should land on the swamp planet because I don't want to just go. Information before we murder.
I don't want to murder anybody. I didn't murder anybody in the interrogation break thing, whatever that
Diplomatic
realm.
conversation.
It was a conversation. There was just some stabbing. It was 2 stabs.
Things happen.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Dorcas.
This is why I stay on the speed racer. You all just I get peace and quiet.
If I wasn't on
we have
here,
an objective, and we're going to fulfill that objective. However, you see,
I did nothing wrong. I made sure that those pirates are not pirates anymore. They're family.
Here is your book
Familia.
back. I translated it.
And I gotta tell you, that one guy, the cook, oh my.
Oh yeah, no, the
I'm
cook's real good
staying.
food.
Can we
That's
keep
real
him?
good food.
Dorcas,
That-
can we keep him,
We can
please?
keep the cook. Absolutely.
Oh, figure.
I did.
Find more.
Yeah.
the
Who are they?
Okay, the cook's name is
Cook needs a name.
Stefan Barrick. Stefan.
Fun. I love Stefan.
Stefan.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about Stefan.
There's a method to my madness. It's okay.
I'm complaining about you stabbing people.
In the time of our lives where nothing matters. There is nothing over us.
Everything
There
matters.
is nothing under us. It is just
That
I
is when
need
you
them.
trust the men.
They need to know who's in charge, and then I bring them in their family.
Nothing really matters.
If as long as I can go fast and furious, you can do whatever you want with your family.
You're our family, Dorcas. You're my family. I would never stab you.
Well, that is the best relief. I am so glad to hear that you're not gonna stab me. Thank you.
I'm not scary. It's okay. Oh my gosh. Dorcas, I love you. Deb, I love you. You blast things. And it's incredible. You got those doors open when I royally fucked up. It was great. Dorcas, it's okay. You don't have to be afraid of me. And Dev, I'm kind of afraid of you because you shoot a lot better than me. Not gonna lie. Everybody else should be afraid of me. But not you! Oh my gosh! We're fine. You're fine.
And so the episode comes to a close, and we roll credits as you guys are exchanging your banter and casting sidelong glances at Maze. So here's where we're going to talk about advancement. So if you have, so your potential is 1 because the sum of your attributes is 10 divided by 1, which is 1. Your potential threshold is 2 plus your potential, which is 3. So as if my counting is correct, I'm pretty sure that everyone has succeeded and failed 3 challenges because that's equal to your potential threshold.
I did more.
You did okay. You did more. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. I it was 4 on both ends. So.
Okay. Dev, did you get at least 3 on both?
Yep.
Okay. And Dorcas?
I'm trying.
Fails?
I was gonna say I don't think I failed enough. I only failed twice.
Okay.
That sucks. Wow.
I know.
Oh my gosh. You didn't like fail your first 3 challenges.
No, I aced those actually.
So, so Dorcas, you will hold on to your count of successes and failures will stay where they are, but you will not earn a development point.
Aww.
Oh, sad.
Tonight, in this session,
Oh man.
definitely I'm 100% sure that you will earn 1 next session.
Yeah.
Developed in our hearts.
You just need to fail more.
It's not my fault. I blame Craig's dice. They should be better.
Okay, I see how it is.
Not my fault.
I'll get out. Okay. In the second session, I'll get out the black and red dice, and then you want to see me succeed more. I have people who can attest to my black and red dice, who I have run Shadowlight and Persona 4 in person, who can attest to how on fire my black and red dice
Oh
are.
no, no, no.
So, yeah.
I
No,
have
and
been
he'll
using
only roll them
my
against me.
tiny-
It's
my-
fine.
These kinds, I've been using these, and they've been pretty moderate.
You can save the red and black for against me. I'm the one calling you out.
Okay.
Don't
100%
punish
use them
him.
against
Okay.
me.
All right.
Any
how about
failures?
that? Okay.
Please say.
I got an idea. All right. We've still got a few minutes. What would you like to try? Might fail at. You think that you might get that earn that fail? I'll give you a shot at it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I would probably fail that, but also, Merm, your dice have hated you tonight, so there's a chance that I don't.
I can grab new ones. I have a whole bag. I'll grab new ones. It'll be completely up to chance. I believe in my dice.
Is that going to be like the post credits? So like the episode comes to a close, and then the credits roll, and then right before sit Ubu sit good dog, there's the scene. There's Maze and Dorcas sparring.
Yeah.
I took out a space pirate with a cargo lid earlier, and we've dueled, and there's a new fierceness, a new ferocity. If I don't have weapons, I gotta put up the dukes.
So here's what's happening. So we're gonna have a little PvP action here, and Dorcas and Maze are going to do some sparring. So all we need is we just need one fail from Dorcas to be able to get the development point.
Please do bad.
And then fight.
So Maze, how are you? I mean, this is not like you're not fighting to the death. You're sparring.
No.
So what are you bringing to the sparring match?
Bringing my hands. Like,
this is mono e mono.
This is just
We're fisticuffing.
Okay.
Like if I brought my knife, it would be like a completely different story.
I would have to bring
I'm not going to stab you.
Okay,
I want to
very
hold
good.
myself accountable.
All right. So then that means
Thank you. Thank you.
because neither of you have any type of brawling or anything like that, you're both rolling with one die. And you are going to add either cunning or stature based on what are you brute forcing it, or are you being agile and ducking and weaving?
For the sake of failing.
Okay, so here's what I need first. I need both of you to roll a die because I want to see who gets to issue the challenge first. Five, one. All right. You get to throw the first punch, Dorcas.
Oh gosh.
So one die. Now you're going to answer, Maze. You're going to answer with defend. So you get more dice. You get more dice to defend.
Yes.
So go ahead.
That's a 10.
Okay. All right.
That's also okay. Mine is also a 10, but I add 2. So I beat you with
Dorcas, you have a 10 total?
I have a 12 total.
No, Dorcas.
Yeah, no, I am doing stature, so yes, I have a 10 total. If I'd done cutting, it was gonna be a 12, but I called stature before it started, so I could fail shit.
Here's the funny thing: is that so if you had done cunning, you would have had a 12.
Mm-hmm.
And
it would have gone to the next roll.
12? Did Maze? You got a 12?
I got a 12.
Because Maze has more dice to defend with. Dorcas, you would have lost the challenge because you couldn't
either
break
way.
the tie.
Damn, fuck yeah. Okay.
So
I'm doing it cunning. I want to look good.
Okay, so you lose. you lose, which means you get to mark the failure. And now here's the next. So Maze defends successfully. Now Maze gets to throw a punch of their own. We'll see if they connect. So Maze one die, and Dorcas, your defend.
That's an 11.
Oh, wow. That was so much. Wow. What do I add to it?
It's up to you. You decide whether it's your stature or your cunning, whatever you want to add to it.
Incredible. They're the same. It's a 4.
So, total of a 4?
I rolled a 2 and I added 2 for 4.
All of mine would have.
Okay. So you do not punch Dorcas successfully, and that's where it stops.
Perfect.
Each of you throws a punch, and each of you misses each other, and that's where the episode ends.
We're gonna be better
And
smart.
Dorcas, you get your fail,
Yes!
and you get the development point. So basically, all your successes and fails will wipe clean. You'll start at 0 next session, but each of you earns a development point. So between now and next session, what you have to decide is what you want to do with that development point. You can either increase an attribute by 1, or you may pick up a new trait, which is enhancements, spheres. There's enhancements or spheres. Or you may upgrade an existing trait. Make existing one better. So you can think about it, what you want to do with it, and we can talk about it between now and next session, and we'll figure that out. And next session we'll begin with you. So you're Dorcas, you're thinking land on the swamp planet and do some reconnaissance.
Yes.
Is everybody on board with that?
Good to me.
Cool. So that's where we will pick up in episode 2.
No promises
Everybody,
that I won't stab anyone
I
next
had
session.
fun. I laughed a lot because Maze is a giant goofball.
Giant murderous.
The
goofball.
murder ball.
It's
I'm
okay.
afraid of Maze, let me tell you.
Yes.
And we can call it an episode, and we'll see each other next week. Bye.